Hey everyone, Koji here, and I've got my friend Aresh.
Hey, how you doing?
And we've got our next free-to-play video for you on Fallen Earth. Basically, Fallen Earth is made, or it was made by Icarus Studios, but they don't exist anymore, and the game was acquired by Gamers First, which basically they're free-to-play platform. They weren't initially.
Yeah.
So
Basically, they failed in a subscription format, and they went free to play.
Basically. So we decided to check this game out. Aresh is the one that recommended it,
I
and
did
I kind of regret it, to be honest.
hesitantly. It's got some benefits, but it's outweighed, I think, by its detractors.
But yeah, I guess this is why we're doing these types of videos, is to
Yeah.
give you the pros and cons of it. So for this, I'm just going around in the first quest, actually just switching off to the character customization. It's kind of about halfway through what I was doing. But yeah, I, I, I liked being able to mess around with the settings. There wasn't too much, sort of like the EA stuff where you can tweak all the like little settings. That's kind of annoying for
Yeah,
me.
you can't change like your cheekbone width and
Yeah.
your forehead height, but you have a fair amount of tattoos and piercings and weird eye mutations. It's not really eye colors, but
Yeah, no, it looks sort of like I've got robotic eyes when I was
Yeah,
making
yeah.
it, and I just wanted to make him look so sadistic, and like you'll get to see eventually his final
kind of looks like a rapist,
a little bit,
I'd say.
but I mean I called him Madman Akuji. It was just fitting. I was gonna just run around and killing people.
Madman sounds about right.
But yeah, essentially, like there's a decent amount of customization, like the hair, like multiple settings for piercings and
Yo.
facial hair and tattoos.
That guy was ripped.
And yeah, I know. I kept it like that. And I also made sure he was hairless because
And-
nobody likes hairy men.
That he's wearing briefs. Did you select that, or was that just
No,
default?
that's default. I didn't touch that shit.
Alright.
I even didn't want him to have like his arms, like showing. So I ended up
Oh, you
switching it
went long
back.
sleeve.
It's like screw it.
Okay.
But yeah, like you can like there's not too much selection when it comes
No.
to the clothing and whatnot, but it's really because once you get gear in the game, it goes on you,
Oh, yeah.
and you change your appearance anyway, so it's not really a huge deal. It's just some starting stuff.
I mean, the game's entirely crafting based, so they don't give you too much to start off with. But when you get in there, it's up to you to find somebody that can make it for you, or go in the auction house, or make it yourself. That's where the appeal comes from. It's like a post-apocalyptic environment where everything you make is actually quite gold. You know, you actually get the sense that you're making real profit when you make something and you sell it.
Well, it's pretty much like every man for themselves, and
Yeah.
you sell what you're good at. And
Exactly.
like in your case, you made a doctor basically, so
Yeah.
you're going around offering like med kits and like anti-venoms and stuff that
Yeah.
you've created yourself, which you basically just gathered. So it's got that MMO feel. Like you have your gathering professions and you've got your crafting things, but everything actually matters because you're the one. You're basically the only ones making these types of items, and
Yeah.
it's crafting
Yeah.
everything. It's not just like major like weapons and armor or like potions and stuff. It's literally everything.
In a lot of cases, somebody will need me to craft something that they then use to craft something. Do you see what I mean? It's
So
not
it's just like retroactively building stuff.
you can't even just in some cases buy materials for something. You have to have somebody with a different skill craft something for you, and you use that finished item to craft something in your skill line, your trade skill. So it can get pretty cool, but it takes a while to get there.
And I mean, I didn't really go too far into it. I played maybe about 2 hours or so. But like, what kind of combinations really are there?
Well, let me open up my skill tree and I'll show my trade skills and I'll show you. So, for medicine, which is something I was specializing in.
So yeah,
If I
I'm
can
now
open
I'm now showing you guys the like the skills list.
There you go.
I'm kind of going through it fast because I'm trying to decide for myself what I wanted to pick. But essentially, there's your main stats, which works like pretty much any other game. But you spend your AP on whatever you want, like upgrading each level, and you can put it into either stats, your skills, or mutations. And your trade skills is basically all the, like, every time you build something or every time you collect something, then those automatically go up on their own. They're just like showing you in that tab. But apart from that, I mean, for my character, I was basically just wanting to use a rifle and just go down that route. So I decided to go for dexterity and perception, and like pretty much everything to do with rifles. They even have it in the little like info tabs about them.
Here's another interesting thing. If you do choose to become a serious crafter, you can't improve your trade skills past a certain point without more intelligence. So you're pigeonholed into getting intelligence. So you cannot make a guy who's a sick sniper, armor use wearing guy, who can craft everything, who has max crafting. You can't do that. You
have to specialize.
You have to have two characters, and you can't do that, by the way. It's free to play. You can only have one guy, so you gotta buy two. So, but if you had two slots, or if you chose to pay for it, I don't know why you would, but if you did, you would have a full combat guy, goes out, gathers, kills stuff, does exciting things, and you would have a crafter who you log in, you queue up a whole bunch of stuff, you craft it, you make it, and you send it on its way, and you log off.
Nice.
So you went with coordination and just coordination?
No, I went with dexterity and perception. I haven't selected it yet.
And
I think, that's where I'm going to put it up to 18 for both. Oh, I did put in coordination, not dexterity.
Yeah,
Oops.
Coordination and perception.
I actually put it in the wrong one, I think. I think the dexterity is the one for rifles, isn't it?
Dexterity is what you want, yeah. Coordination is for stamina regen, and it affects the skill caps for armor use, dodge, escape artist, group tactics, melee skills, stuff like that.
Yeah, I totally failed. And I'm now seeing that in the recording of the video.
Yeah, it happens.
Doesn't really matter, though. I'm not playing this game ever again, but we're going to leave that until the end of the video.
Well, you could start by telling them what you didn't like, so why don't we start with the patcher? That was your first experience.
Yeah, okay, so the game is about 8 gigabytes big, and for people with not that great of an internet connection, that'll take a little while. But it wasn't too daunting. I did it over when I went to bed. Either way, when you start up the game for the first time, it brings up the launcher. It has to update that, and then you have to then verify every single thing that it just installed on your computer, because it didn't just send you exactly what they expected to send you. It then has to verify all of your info, like the entire game files, basically, and once it's done that, it then starts doing the update. But it kept doing it in a loop, sort of, because it wouldn't entirely install the update. It would stop halfway or something, and then have to completely rescan your game files again to make sure it can install the right pieces of the update. Like, it literally would loop over about 5 or 6 times, and it took me at least 10 minutes to get into the game first off.
Yeah, that's shit.
And it was just really annoying, to be honest. It wasn't a very pleasant experience. But like, eventually I did get in, and then another issue I had, actually, did I show? I showed like mutations for like the smallest second. But like, another issue I've had with it is I put rifle in because just try to max that out. But you can see on the right side next to it, it shows 2 different skills, which are basically the ones that you need to put up higher to allow you to get higher skill in rifle.
Yeah,
in this example.
Skill cap.
Yeah, so it'll raise your skill cap. So you'll need to like pick a bunch of different skills, but like we said before, you pretty much have to specialize in a couple of different things.
Yeah. You have to take your time with the creation of the character. Like you really need to read all of it and commit to like one path.
Otherwise, you're just gonna start over.
Yeah, you're gonna start over, which is not so bad. A lot of people probably had to, but what are you gonna do?
So here I'm actually accepting the first quest for first aid, I believe. So you get to see actually the crafting aspect of things.
Okay.
So she gave me this book, and I imagine it's to learn stuff. So you right click on items in your pack, and you click on use, and it gave me create refined bandages. So basically at this point, I'm keep looking around.
Okay, so look, you've got the medicine skill, right?
Yeah.
I took that as well, and I got it quite high. And what you end up being able to do in the end is, and this is just this is not even the end, but just a few levels in, you can start making antiseptics, which are used for a lot of times. People need these for quests too. You'll get to a town, and the guy will say, "Listen, we don't have any fucking antiseptics here. People are dying, and where are you gonna get it? You're gonna get it from me."
Right.
That's where you're gonna get it. So you can make bandages, medicine kits. Pathology is really cool. It's like a
Resistances.
Pardon?
Resistances
Mm-hmm.
and such.
That's right. That's right. And disease treatments, poison,
Okay.
radiation resistance.
All right. Cool.
And the last one I got was trauma, which was really cool. Which I can't open. Oh, there it is. It's
Oh, that's the antiseptic one.
yeah. Trauma is healing drugs, painkillers, coagulants. Very cool.
So is it just like mass healing? What does it say?
Coagulants removes rank 3 or lower bleeding effects from the user. There's all kinds of stuff. You don't want to get stuck out in the wilderness and not have
Not be prepared.
the capability
like,
to heal. Yeah, if you start bleeding, you're gonna keep bleeding. It's not like
I mean, like, look at this. You're in the middle of pretty much nowhere.
yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be getting attacked by a wolf at some point. Imagine if that wolf actually like got into me.
It would you would be
you
diseased.
would yeah you would want some.
If you had rabies, you would need the sickle spine physician to come and heal you before you turn into a ravening beast. Although your character may have already been bitten.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It looks like
He's
a crazy
little.
man.
He's a little psychotic. It's the way I was
Yeah.
wanting to roleplay him a bit.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, the wolf's attacking me.
He's
But
gonna
he-
finish getting his copper first.
Yeah, no, I didn't even get my copper. Like, but basically, like, this is a clip of me running around harvesting stuff. Like, I found some copper veins, and you get scrap copper, which is just material you need to make ammunition or
Mhm.
whatever else. And I'm not sure. Can you smelt stuff? I didn't get too far.
Yeah,
into the
you
game.
can get further on and get
Like
different
actual
types of ores
pieces.
and, yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, like there's a great deal of like
Yeah.
of crafting in this game. Like basically, the one key focus that I had on this game when I started it was the fact that there's so much crafting involved. Like if you like crafting in games, it gets a little bit to get into that and to get to that point, but once you're there and you just start like
Yeah.
building stuff or making whatever,
It snowballs.
like it snowballs and there's so much stuff that you can do.
See, it's not that just that there's so much crafting here, but it's also that there's depth to crafting. But yeah, you don't
So-
have scavenging.
Yeah, no, like I don't have scavenging. It doesn't make sense to me that I can't look at a dead body. Like we pretty much figured out that I zippers are the end of, like the death of me. I
Yeah, no,
can't
you
I
can't
can't
open it.
figure them out.
It's because you're just not well educated.
There's also some vehicles in the game. Right next to me after I kill this underweller is an ATV, but there's also motorcycles and I believe there's a Jeep that you can get. And
Yeah, I
there
think
any
there's
other
like
vehicles?
a dune buggy or something. I don't know. There's a few. They're hard to make. You have to make every piece. So you're gonna go out find iron, scrap, and all kinds of stuff. Then you got to get fuel, leather for the seats. I mean, it's really.
you take a lot of time to make a
Oh
car.
yeah.
All right.
Serious.
I mean,
And now you're gonna drive your. Oh, you didn't show the rest of it.
no. Well, I mean, it went into the cutscene there,
Yeah.
so I just cut it off. But essentially, I exploded because
There was a bomb strapped.
there was a bomb strapped to it. But I mean, the premise of the game is pretty much that you're a clone. That when you die, like there's that collar around your neck, and I don't know if you noticed it when in the the character customization thing. Like he's wearing this collar, and essentially it's transmitting all of his brain thoughts and everything that he does into a database.
Yeah, the LifeNet pods.
Yeah. So basically, when he dies, he just reawakens as a new clone with every memory that he has. Like essentially, he's immortal. So you just wander
It's pretty cool.
the earth as
It's like a weird futuristic slave collar, but it's different because.
it allows you to continue. Like you can
It's
do
the
whatever
same,
you
yeah.
want.
It's very cool.
Like
Although a little bit weird. Like
Uh,
it doesn't make sense. Like why do they have clones? If they have clones, what's going on? Why am I using a fucking piece of junk rifle? Like
I don't know. But I mean,
oh whatever.
I guess it's just a case of like using them as weapons, tools.
Yeah, yeah, build,
Like,
rebuild society, but it's not looking so good still.
no, not really.
Well, what can you do?
So I mean, like, let's pretty much wrap this up. What did you think overall of the game?
Just purely from a crafting perspective, I thought it was fantastic. There was so much depth to the crafting that I felt I could sit there for hours and just work on the specific crafting skills that I wanted and really get a feeling like that I had progressed and that I'd done something cool. Like being able to go out, use my nature skill to harvest various herbs and things like that, and then use that in my medicine skill, which is a completely different tree, to make something completely different, and then sell that on the auction house was really, really fun. But the combat in this game sucked. It was gross. It was really bad. The UI is clunky. It's not so great, and
I totally agree with you on that one. I
Yeah,
really
that's it.
I really don't like the UI, and one of the biggest problems is, and I realize that you can just change the key bindings and whatnot, but as a default thing, is something you're just starting off using. It just feels really weird to
yeah,
play it. I mean, you press tab to be able to get your cursor, like to switch in between your cursor and your fighting position.
yeah. There's
Cursor.
like combat mode and like
Crafting
crafting
mode.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, unless you're pressing certain keys on your keyboard, like Y for like interacting with items or people, like I don't know. It seems counterintuitive when you usually can just like right click on people and it works properly. Like I understand that it's not really the same kind of style as WoW, like
No.
an MMO like point of view, but because like the fighting, like there was a couple scenes where like I'm using my rifle, and like you're obviously like you actually have to use your weapons. It's all real time. It's a different combat system, but it's still a little weird to use, and the UI's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I guess
Overall.
the thing with this is that it's weird to deal with a hybrid where half the time your hand is glued to WASD and you're fighting, and the other half the time you're not, and you're just sitting there clicking stuff. And for some people, it's a bit weird to start like that. For me, I got used to it. I stayed in crafting mode the whole time, to be honest with you. I took one look at the combat and I said, fuck this. And, yeah, really. And just started making stuff. And then I found some people and said, listen, do you want a doctor? I'll follow you around and heal you. Guy gave me a few bucks.
All right,
It was
cool.
fun in that perspective. But, no, I haven't played it since. It's cool, but it's not cool enough to hold my attention. But I give him kudos for giving it a good shot with a game with really probably the best crafting I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there as well.
Yeah.
The crafting is absolutely amazing compared to any other game that I've seen, and like the actual need to get these types of skills and specialize into something, and you actually need, like, people need this stuff. It isn't
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like stacking up on the auction house waiting to be sold.
It was real
For
demand.
people with like a ton of cash, it's like, I need bandages,
Yeah.
or like I need some gears for the car or whatever.
Yeah. And there'll be rich guys who stockpile that stuff. They'll buy it, they'll snatch it all up, and they'll keep it for when they can make a profit on it. They exist too, the fat cats.
But I mean, overall, I don't think I'll ever play this game again. I had a rough start with it, and it just got me annoyed overall. And I'm trying to be unbiased about it, but I mean,
Yeah.
the sound quality, that was one thing I needed to mention to you guys. Don't play this with headphones. I almost blasted my eardrums. It was severely overly loud. Like, I had literally turned everything down to 2, like out of 100, and everything was fine. But the thing is, that's not the problem. It's the intercom. Like, whoever's on the intercom talking to you it doesn't have a volume control at all, which really bugs me as someone who records stuff. Like, if I can't balance the sound properly, it can be bad. And especially the fact that even turning everything down to 2 and then my system audio down to about half, it still felt like this one woman was screaming in my ears. And like, I mean, I
That's
was
not
on
pleasant.
Skype with Resh, and he heard it on the other side, and I was wearing earbuds, like not really great earbuds, and he heard it clearly. So my advisement, please, like you don't want to hurt yourself.
Be careful with that. Yeah.
Yeah, so this game seems to be designed for speakers or just put everything on super low, especially your system audio. Apart from that,
I guess that's it for Fallen Earth.
yeah, that's Fallen Earth.
Good try, but I can see why they had to move it to free to play. Because I mean, I
Yeah,
don't think anybody would pay for that.
yeah. I mean, I imagine there's some really hardcore people who thought the crafting was amazing. But yeah, like obviously they got acquired to be free to play because they weren't doing well,
Yeah.
and it kind of shows in the quality of the game.
Yeah. But it is cool that there's a lot of people on there right now.
Yeah, there's
a lot of people.
Well, everybody seems to want to check out free to play games,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. They're huge. They're the rage these days.
And that's kind of the point of this this series.
We'll be doing more.
Yep. I think we're either going to be doing Vindictus or World of Battles next
Okay,
time.
cool. That's fun. Either one is fun.
Yeah, they were both fun to try out.
Both
So
really cool games in short bursts.
yeah, and there's probably so many more to come. I was checking out a couple. One's Moonbreaker. That was so tough.
Oh yeah, the one space one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
We gotta do this.
but
in
yeah,
another
we'll
video.
we'll talk about this another time, maybe in one of my weekly vlogs. But either way, guys, I hope this was informative for you, and we'll catch you next time.
Take it easy.